Alright, yo, what's good everyone? Nick Smith is back. So, yesterday was actually the NBA draft lottery, and as we all know, the 76ers got the number 1 overall pick, but something weird happened, and it was a few hours before the draft lottery actually occurred, and it was by one of the greatest players to ever play for the 76ers, Dikembe Mutombo. Now, if you don't know what I mean, I'm going to show you a picture right now on the screen, and this is actually what Dikembe said. And this was like, I don't know exactly the time he posted this on Twitter, but it was definitely before the NBA draft lottery. I'd say around 3 to 2 hours before the draft lottery. But then he posted a tweet later on, like a few minutes after that, saying, "Sorry guys, got excited about the 76ers odds and got ahead of myself, still keeping my fingers crossed for tonight." And then the draft occurred and the 76ers obviously, got the number 1 overall pick. But it created a lot of controversy over Twitter, and a lot of people were tweeting me about this, and a lot of people were questioning the NBA and if it's rigged, and the draft, how's it been rigged. So it led me to the question, is the NBA draft rigged? Now, everyone's heard about this. There's been a lot of questions about Patrick Ewing to the Knicks, and Derrick Rose to the Bulls, and LeBron to the Cavs, and all these questions. So now I thought I should probably make a video, and we're going to be talking about the biggest conspiracy theories in the NBA through the draft. So yeah, the biggest NBA conspiracy draft theories, and let's get it started. Number 5, the Orlando Magic getting Shaquille O'Neal in the 1992 NBA draft. The Orlando Magic, not only did they not make the playoffs in their first 3 seasons after a beginning team as an expansion franchise in the 1989-1990 season, it would have been a horrible embarrassment for an expansion franchise to utterly fail and either be moved to another city or contracted. That's why many believe that there has been a huge conspiracy theory into why the Orlando Magic ended up getting Shaq in the 1992 NBA draft. Everyone knew that going into the draft, Shaq was going to be the clear number 1 overall pick. He was a dominant force to be reckoned with. He was a huge man, and he wouldn't be stopped, especially at his frame of 7 feet 2. It felt so coincidental that the Magic got the number 1 overall pick in the 1992 NBA draft, which obviously gave them Shaq O'Neal. If the Orlando Magic would have never got Shaq, I wonder if there would actually be an Orlando Magic today. Anyway, the Magic didn't make the playoffs in Shaq's rookie season, but that's understandable as he was only a rookie. But they did manage to make it to the NBA Finals by 1995 on the back of Shaq. As we all know, eventually Shaq left the Orlando Magic to join the Los Angeles Lakers after the 1996 season, but not before putting the Orlando Magic on the map. I guess we might never know if they would actually be a team today. Number 4, the Orlando Magic once again.
What?
Exactly a year after Shaq was selected by the Orlando Magic, a year later, they actually got the number 1 overall pick, which is really crazy. Now, the reason why this is a conspiracy theory is because they got the number 1 overall pick the year before, which obviously they selected Shaq. But to get the number 1 overall pick the year after seems really crazy to me, since with Shaq as a rookie, they literally just missed the playoffs. Like, they were actually a pretty competitive team. And it was clear that Shaq was going to be the next big thing, literally, in the NBA, leading many to wonder just how the Magic landed the number 1 overall pick for the 2nd straight year in a row, despite pretty small odds. What came next was pretty crazy, since the Magic eventually used that number 1 pick to draft Chris Webber, who they actually traded away to land Penny Hardaway.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to report a trade. Orlando has traded the draft rights to Chris Webber to Golden State in exchange for the draft rights to Anthony Hardaway and 3 future first-round draft picks.
Which was a straight swap, and that made Shaq pretty happy to have a point guard that he could dominate with. 2 years later, after the trade to get Penny Hardaway, Shaq and Penny were in the NBA Finals, giving conspiracy theorists all the fuel that they needed. Number 3, Derrick Rose to the Chicago Bulls. Now, I don't know if I told you guys this at the start, but I'm not a huge fan of people saying that the NBA's rigged or that they have conspiracy theories, but I do like to hear what people have to say, and I do take it on board when I'm watching or listening about the NBA and the past history of the NBA. Now, like I said, I'm not a huge fan of the NBA conspiracy theories, but this one, I guess, seems a little odd. The Chicago Bulls were obviously one of the cornerstone franchises, thanks to Michael Jordan, the greatest player to ever play. The Chicago Bulls hadn't been remotely close to replacing MJ's star power since he left Chicago after the 1998 NBA season. Since then, the Bulls had missed the postseason 7 times and they would never make it back to the Eastern Conference Finals. But in the 2008 NBA draft, the Bulls would end up with the number 1 overall pick, despite a 1.7% chance to actually win the lottery. This is why I think this conspiracy theory might be a little rigged. The Bulls hadn't really done very well after Jordan left, and with a 1.7% chance to win the lottery, it seems crazy that the hometown kid Derrick Rose would just end up playing for Chicago. The Bulls obviously ended up with Derrick Rose, their hometown kid, and he would immediately become the face of the franchise since Michael Jordan retired. Yeah, pretty crazy. He was a 3-time All-Star, and in 2011 he became the youngest MVP winner of all time. Now, if Rose could have stayed healthy, you never know, the Bulls might have actually brought another championship back to Chicago. But as we all know, Derrick Rose suffered a huge amount of injuries and he was never the same player. Now, if you guys actually want to watch a Derrick Rose what if video, I'll drop a link in the description. Number 2. Kyrie Irving getting drafted by the Cleveland Cavaliers in 2011. Now, we're going to actually travel a little bit earlier than this. We're going back to the 2003 NBA draft, where LeBron actually gets drafted by the Cleveland Cavaliers. Now, originally I was going to make this an NBA draft conspiracy theory, but when I was thinking about it, the Cleveland Cavaliers in 2003 were the worst team in the NBA. They definitely had a massive chance to get the number 1 overall pick, and in fact, they had the highest chance. So, to me, it's not really a conspiracy theory. A lot of people try to make it like a conspiracy theory, but they had the worst record in the league. They should have got the number 1 overall pick. The main thing for me is that obviously he was from Akron, Ohio, which made it a little bit obvious for some people to think that he's from Akron, he's going to get drafted by Cleveland, what a story. But in reality, the Cleveland Cavaliers were the worst team that season and deserved the number 1 overall pick to get LeBron James. Anyway, as we all know, LeBron lived up to the hype with the Cleveland Cavaliers, but the Cleveland Cavaliers as a franchise, they weren't really able to acquire any superstar players, which is why in the NBA Finals in 2007, LeBron led his team there. He led his terrible team to the NBA Finals in 2007. Now, after that, they couldn't acquire any talent from free agency, they couldn't acquire any talent through draft selections, and they couldn't get any by making trades because nobody wanted to trade with the Cleveland Cavaliers. So what did they do? This is my conspiracy theory right here, and this is what a lot of people think as well. What happened is that LeBron obviously went to the Miami Heat in 2010 to join Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh, while the Cleveland Cavaliers could stockpile draft picks for LeBron's return. And this is where a lot of the questions come in. Is this really true? Is this an NBA conspiracy theory? In my opinion, I don't know, man. I'm on the edge about this. But what I do think now is that it really worked out for both teams. LeBron James obviously going to Miami and getting 2 championships and helping the Miami Heat become more successful, where the Cleveland Cavaliers could acquire some draft picks for LeBron James returning. And this is where the next conspiracy theory comes in, with Kyrie Irving being drafted in 2011. It was a bit convenient that the Cavaliers landed the number 1 overall pick in the 2011 NBA draft less than a year after LeBron James took his talents to Miami. Even then, at that time in 2011, Timberwolves GM David Kahn was suspicious, quoting, "This league has a habit, and I'm just going to say habit, of producing some pretty incredible storylines." Now, with David Kahn saying that, that's pretty crazy, but nonetheless, Kyrie Irving turned out to be the 2011-2012 NBA Rookie of the Year, and now he's an All-Star in Cleveland, teaming up with LeBron James and obviously Kevin Love, which is another conspiracy theory. The Cleveland Cavaliers not only did they get Kyrie Irving, they actually ended up getting Andrew Wiggins in 2014, in which case they used that draft pick, Andrew Wiggins, to actually trade for Kevin Love. And now we have a big three in Cleveland with Kevin Love, Kyrie Irving, and LeBron James. And instead of the 2007 NBA Finals team with LeBron and nobody, they have an NBA Finals team in 2015 and maybe 16 with Kyrie, Kevin Love, and LeBron with a team around him. I don't know, man. It just kind of seems a little fishy. And number one, this was pretty clear. If you know about the NBA, you could have guessed which one was going to be the number one on my list. Everyone's list has this at number one, and it's obviously Patrick Ewing going to the Knicks in the 1985 NBA draft. What's crazy is that the draft lottery system that was implemented for this 1985 draft was for the first time in Ewing's draft, and many suggested that the NBA fixed the lottery in its first year as a way to push Ewing, one of the best college basketball players of all time, to New York. The video of David Stern pulling the Knicks envelope has been analyzed more than 1 billion times. Some believe that David Stern pulled a frozen envelope or one that had a crease on the corner so he knew which one belonged to the Knicks. And if you can't tell, I mean, just look, you can clearly see it has a crease there. Even though the Knicks never won an NBA title with Patrick Ewing, and obviously now David Stern is retired, the conspiracy theory is one of the biggest of all time, if not the biggest NBA conspiracy theory in the NBA. But I guess since Patrick Ewing never won an NBA championship, I guess, does it really matter? Kind of. Now, this video has really been based off one thing. And it was Dikembe Mutombo tweeting the 76ers, congratulating them on the number one pick before the lottery had even started. Now, let me know down in the comment section below. Do you think the NBA draft lottery, or the NBA draft in general, is rigged? Do you think the NBA in general is rigged? Comment down below and let me know some of your NBA draft conspiracy theories in the comment section down below. Also, if you guys enjoyed the video, smash this video with a like rating. I'm working on a Dwight Howard what if as we're doing this video, so if you guys are excited for that Dwight Howard what if and you want me to get it out sooner, definitely smash this video with a like rating and subscribe if you're new. But I also really want to hear, do you think they told any members of the 76ers that they were going to win the number one overall pick this year? Do you think they told Dikembe? Personally, I don't think so. I think that the 76ers had the best odds to get the number one overall pick, and Dikembe was just getting a little excited looking at the odds. Honestly, I don't think, why would they tell Dikembe, we have the number one overall pick? Like, come on, man. I don't think that's correct. I think it's just Dikembe getting a little excited. But let me know down below. Do you think Dikembe was told? Because, I mean, that's pretty crazy if he was. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like I said, smash it with a thumbs up rating. Subscribe if you're new. Comment down below. And let me know your thoughts, because I'm out. Peace.